Yes. Although I expect the structure is long gone by now. That said, what if we could take advantage of the phantoms to travel back to a time when it still existed? Well, travel back isn't quite accurate. It's more like we'd be creating a handshake between 2 points in space-time. We wouldn't even have to pick a time when it still existed. It could just be a time when it still appeared in phantom form via projection, or we could project our own phantoms, fold them together, and... You look lost. Was that too hard to follow?
Yeah, things got a little, technical there. Paimon's brain is reaching capacity.
All right. Let me think about how to put this more simply. Okay, got it. Over the next few days, I'll search for phantoms that we can use. Once I find one that meets the criteria, I'll let you know and we'll regroup. By completing certain rituals, specific individuals will be able to enter the phantom and make it to the Hyperborean structure. If everything checks out and it looks feasible, we'll just need to wait for Moon Prayer Night, and we can send the Moon Goddess back home. I'm really skimping on the detail here. Is this making any sense at all?
I think so. For now, we'll just wait to hear from you.
Yes. Basically, yes.
Great. Counting on you. In the meantime, we'll focus on finding the Moon Goddess's name.
My name? Are they looking for a way to stop me from disappearing?
Excuse me, Miss...
Go on, Miss Nicole.
This conversation was a little all over the place. I didn't catch your name.
I am Lauma, of the Frost Moon Scions.
Ah, I did wonder. I noticed that you listened very intently when I spoke about Hyperborea and the moon's history. If you'd be interested, I'd love to visit you this evening and go through it again in greater detail. Also, if you were serious about making a record, it would be too risky to simply write down the raw details as is. I would suggest some tweaks. Maybe rewrite the stories as fairy tales or fables, perhaps even prayers. Anyway, we can cross that bridge when we come to it. So, see you later then? Oh, and no need to prepare anything. Just a cup of tea will do.
See ya!
She seems friendly. It's just...
It's so nice to find someone who's actually willing to listen. I've been dying for a chance to finally go through all this systematically from start to finish. Any longer and I'd probably start forgetting it.
Now Paimon gets why Alice told us to mind our heads.
Ha 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 ha, what did I tell you? A lot of quirky people in Alice's orbit. Now then, the next order of business is, where do we start looking for the Moon Goddess's name?
Maybe the rest of what Nicole has to say might give us some clues.
Once I've heard her out, I'll summarize the salient points and share them with you all. I'm also inclined to review our other documents. Yes, our faith was first established by our Hyperborean ancestors, but many of the more factually accurate records are from after Kutar's birth.
Sounds like we're gonna follow Columbina's journey through Duvat, huh? In that case, we'll start by heading to the Frost Moon Enclave.
Sounds like a plan. Take this with you. I'll see about getting in touch with the Fatui. It'll probably just be Arlecchino and Sandroni again. They're the only ones who would want to help.
Thank you, Mr. Varka.
Ha 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 ha, don't mention it. Honestly, I'm more comfortable dealing with the Fatui than prying into the details of a young lady's childhood. Catch you later.
I should follow them, just in case there's some way that I can help.
A while ago, I took the time to organize all documents in our possession that pertain to Kutar. What you see here is the material I consider reliable.
You're saying there's unreliable material too?
Yes. Most of the information we have was transmitted through an oral tradition. Inevitably, some of her stories were mythologized and deified over the years through countless retellings. That's why I organized them into reliable and unreliable. There's no sense seeking answers in history unless we can ensure the veracity of the historical record.
Makes sense. All right, let's take a look through. Almost all these records refer to Kutar instead of Columbina. Although neither of those is her real name.
What we can gather from these records is that the Frostmoon Scions worshipped her as a god, placing impossible expectations upon her. I cannot fault them for their earnest faith, but for all their devotion, worshipping her day in, day out changed nothing. I imagine that none of it resonated with Columbina. It wouldn't surprise me if, even back then, she had already begun to reject the name Kutar.
Lama speaks the truth. When I heard them call upon Kutar with hope and expectation in their voices, they may as well have been calling upon somebody else.
Well, that's a bit complicated. I looked at the level of detail, perceived authenticity, prose style, and how realistic their portrayal of Kutar seemed to be. Amongst the Frostmoon Scions of today, only I know of her existence, and I alone have spoken to her face to face. As such, I know that there are certain things she simply would never do. That being said, I have sensed some changes in her lately.
Changes? Me?
Seems like this is getting us nowhere. For what it's worth, why don't we check the unreliable sources too?
Sure. Give me a moment.
Exerting but a fraction of her divine might, Kutar sheared a great mass from the snow-capped mountain and cast it into the sea, upon whose surface shone the mirror image of the moon. Thus was formed the island of Hisi. Yeah, right. That doesn't even begin to pass the sniff test. The 3 moons are naught but lies through and through. Only one moon has ever shone for us, and Kutar is her name.
The vast majority of ancient texts are filled with fanciful tales like these. I trust you understand my criteria. Kutar did not speak, merely gazing into the distance in silence. And where her gaze landed, this was her prophecy. Clearly, whoever wrote this text never even met Kutar. Otherwise, they'd know that her eyes are always closed.
What about you, Traveler? What are you reading? Come on, let Paimon. The child wished to build a wooden nest with which to shield a fledgling bird from the cold. But being so young and lacking in strength, the child could not snap the branches from the trees. Kutar was passing by. Upon seeing the child, she summoned forth the Kuhenki, who built a beautiful nest for the child.
I remember that.
Not knowing the meaning of Kutar's divine intervention, the child dared not to respond, and thus ran home to call their parents. But Kutar was gone. The moon chanter declared the event a miracle and took the nest as a relic, placing it on high for all to see. The child was named as one favored by the goddess and was greatly respected amongst the people. Yet, no further miracles were bestowed, and this matter was forgotten in but a few years. Any thoughts after reading that? Yeah, Columbina probably just